and welcome to another episode of the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite shows. We're your hosts. I am Scott, and joining me as always, you don't know how persuasive he can be. He's never tried to fuck you before. And it's Zachary Thackeray. I almost forgot your name because I'm so taken aback here. What the hell is going on?
Well, I told you all how cold Amanda has been keeping the house lately. And,
Zach, don't you know a whole week has passed since that happened? So she's been keeping it cold this entire time?
Yeah.
Has she?
Yeah,
okay.
For those of you guys who don't know, it's April in Texas.
Yeah. Very cold. A very cold time and place, dude. For sure. It might as well be December in Antarctica around here. Is that how the seasons work? Is Antarctica opposite us? Or
I don't know.
Probably because they're southern. Australia's opposite us. I don't know how that works. Let us know in the comments how that works. How does Antarctica work?
How does weather work?
How does weather and seasons in Antarctica succinctly summarized for us? No copy and paste from Wikipedia. Those will not be accepted. This is Game of Thrones, believe it or not. This is actually not whatever the fuck else we're doing. Episode 12, The Nightlands, Season 2, Episode 2. Zachary, are you just gonna roll like this? For the audio audience, audio-only audience, he is in full...
No. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Okay, fine.
You guys got to come watch the YouTube. You just have to come
video. Watch the YouTube, I guess. Yeah.
Watch the YouTube. What are you, 80?
Watch them YouTubes. Get on the YouTubes. How are you doing this week, pal? Besides cold.
I am doing the same as I was last week.
No way.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're recording these back to back, but we would never be so deceitful with that kind of a practice.
My Astros hit a walk-off home run
today. That's new.
Yeah,
maybe sort of.
Yeah. Jeremy Pena, rookie, taking over Carlos Correa at shortstop. The
Good
dude
for
is
him.
A stud.
Miguel Cabrera hit 3,000 hits against my Rockies. Good for him.
Yeah. That's so cool, though.
It's a cool accomplishment.
How many times has that happened against the Rockies?
It has happened 4 times, actually. I forgot about one, which is kind of crazy. There's only, I think it's 33 guys in the history of Major League Baseball that have hit 3,000 hits.
And
the
4 of them have been against the Rockies?
4 of them have been at the Rockies, and the Rockies have only been around since 93. So I think that's kind of odd. It's Craig Biggio. No one cares about this, but it's Miguel Cabrera, Craig Biggio, Ichiro, and who's the 4th?
Love me some Ichiro and Biggio.
Biggio, Miguel Cabrera. Fuck, I'm totally blanking on the 4th one.
And you call yourself a baseball fan.
I'm so sorry, MLB player who is definitely watching this, that I'm forgetting also hit 3,000 hits against the Rockies.
It's
it doesn't matter.
It's Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer, yes.
Hold on. I'm confusing him with somebody else. Who's the guy that plays in that movie, Mr. 3000?
That's Bernie Williams, I believe.
Bernie Williams.
The late Bernie Williams, right? Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, the late Bernie Williams.
Jesus.
What is dead may never die.
Don't do that, because Bernie Williams... Wait, is that right? Bernie Williams?
Bernie Mac.
Shit.
Who the fuck is this?
I'm pretty sure Bernie Williams is a baseball player.
Who in the fuck?
What is happening even more? This is Game of Thrones.
Who's Cedric the Entertainer?
Cedric the Entertainer is an actual legit actor, entertainer, comedian.
Is he a comedian? Okay.
Yeah.
Is he a real big fan?
He's not in Mr. Well, he might be in it, but he's not Mr. 3000. It's Bernie Mac, right?
Sure.
I don't know. Steve Harvey. It's definitely Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey on Family Feud is the shit. It's so funny. That guy has the
mustache.
best facial expressions. Yeah. It's
man.
good. I love Steve Harvey. How did we get to talk about Steve Harvey? If you had that we would talk about Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer on your Game of Thrones podcast.
And baseball.
Yeah, and baseball on your bingo card, you probably just fucking won, because good for you. Episode 2.
We should start doing bingo cards.
No one would ever get a bingo. Because look at how all over the map we are. How could we even possibly begin to predict what we're going to do?
I mean, I don't know. We're going to talk Game of Thrones.
No, that's the free space.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
This is an interesting episode.
This episode is not great.
I was trying to be nice, but you're right. It has a few good things, and the rest of it is kind of shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bad.
Much like our podcast, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Why don't we hit the old recap here,
okay,
and then we'll discuss. So we begin on the King's Road, where the Yoren-led group of Night's Watch recruits are on their way to the Wall. Arya meets our dude, Jack and Hagar, a strangely polite man who's chained in the back of the wagon. Some gold cloaks from King's Landing ride up looking for Gendry. Arya thought they were looking for her. Yoren is a total badass and scares them off, but they promise to be back with more men for Gendry. In King's Landing, Tyrion finds Varys in his room chatting up Shay, making subtle threats to Tyrion about his secrets. Tyrion confronts him and says he is not Ned Stark and to never threaten him again, or he's going to murk him. He's going to kill him. Varys, however, not impressed with this. He's like, I find a way to stick around no matter what, my dude. The peace terms from Robb are brought by Sir Alton Lannister to the Small Council, and Cersei promptly tears those up as well. As Tyrion remarks, she has perfected the art of tearing up paper. They send Sir Alton back with their reply, and Cersei wants Jaime to know that he's not been forgotten, nor by me ever either. They also receive a letter from Commander Mormont about the dead man that attacked him, and Commander Mormont asks for more men. Tyrion speaks on behalf of Mormont, but the rest of them pretty much choose to ignore it. North of the Wall, Sam, Gren, and Ed have a very serious discussion about farting and wrestling with girls. Sam wishes he grew up on a farm.
Like WWE wrestling, right?
Yes, exactly. Like that's the kind
Pile
of wrestling
drivers
that Gren was talking about, for sure.
Choke slams.
For sure.
DDTs.
I love a good DDT. Sam then saves Craster's daughter/wife, Gilly, from Ghost, and she asks him to help her. Sam takes her to Jon and wants to take Gilly with them when they leave because she's pregnant and is worried her baby will be a boy. Jon tries to talk sense into Sam and tells him it's impossible. In the Red Waste, quick hit here, one of Dany's scout riders return, but unfortunately he kind of left the rest of his body behind. It's only his head. Only his head returns. So that does not bode well for them.
Theon is on a ship approaching the Iron Islands and is still being a bag of dicks.
True.
Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, who could have seen that coming?
But he thinks he's real hot shit, by the way.
Yes, he does.
He goes ashore and expects a royal welcome party and committee, but nobody gives a fuck because he sucks.
He sucks.
He molests the woman giving him a ride to the castle, only to find later that it is his sister, Yara. What a guy.
Not a good look. Not a good look, Theon.
Yeah, not a good look.
Just all the way around, not a good look.
We meet Theon's father, Balon Greyjoy, and he is kind of a dick, but Theon does definitely deserve it. Balon thinks that Theon's spent too much time with the Starks and is not a true Iron Islander anymore. Balon burns Robb's alliance proposal. I gotta take these sunglasses off. It's too dark.
You are struggling, my friend.
my fucking word here.
Yeah,
Jesus. Where am I here?
Burns Rob's alliance proposal.
And says no more. Says no one gives him a crown, that he will take it himself. He will pay the iron price.
I pay the iron price.
Theon protests that they won't stand a chance against the Lannisters alone, and Balon seems to have something else on his mind. Lots of peeping and...
So, for anyone... No, go ahead, just read it.
Lots of peeping and jizz swapping going on in Littlefinger's brothel, and we find out he hates bad investments. What a fucking creep.
True.
God fucking damn it. I gotta stop letting you write these.
You have to stop letting me write these and then make you read them sight unseen.
Yeah. Tyrion is having supper. Fuck you, man.
Yes! Got him!
Oh, man. Okay, look, we gotta take a brief pause here.
Oh, tell the supper thing? Okay, yes.
We need
a
a show of
poll on
hands.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a show of hands down in the comments or in our inbox, whatever you prefer, or on the Discord, which you can find the link to in the description of this episode. We need a show of hands of who actually says supper.
Is
when they're
supper
gonna eat.
an acceptable thing to say to describe the evening meal? Yes or no? That's all it is.
I want this to be unbiased, so I'm just not going to say anything else. So
yeah,
just
I'm
let
sure
us know.
It's very, very mysterious which side of the debate you and I are on. Oh my god.
Okay, Tyrion is having dinner with Janos Slynt,
fucker,
the City Watch commander, and questions him about the murder of Robert's bastards. Tyrion then verbally bitch slaps Janos Slynt and sends him to the wall, not before giving him a DDT, making Bronn the new commander of the City Watch. Back on the King's Road, Hot Pie, my fucking guy,
hell yeah,
tells us all about armor and knights and battles, and if you are not an educated man, you should probably take one of Hot Pie's classes on this, because he knows his stuff.
If they've got armor on, it's a battle.
It's a battle, and they're a knight.
And
always,
they're knights.
100% of the time.
Yep, 100%.
Gendry knows that Arya is a girl because she won't whip it out and have a piss. Well, go on, then take your cock out and have a piss.
Take your cock out and have a piss. I don't have to piss.
And she tells him who she really is. Back on Dragonstone, Davos convinces the pirate Salador San. What a good name.
San.
Salador San?
San.
San? Salador San?
San. Yeah.
San. Why are you saying it like that?
I don't know. Jerry.
San? Oh no, it's my son. To add his ships to his men to Stannis' cause for gold, glory, and just maybe a chance to bang old Cersei.
Just maybe a chance.
Just maybe. Speaking of banging, Melisandre is looking real fucking hot, and she is ready for some Stannis loving. I have hot. some comments on this.
Man,
Remind
I bet
me.
You do.
She says he has to fully give himself to the Lord of Light. I did not know that the Lord of Light was between a woman's legs.
I did.
Actually, I did. Who am I kidding? In order to defeat his brother, and that she'll give him a son. He resists for a tiny moment, and then he gives in because she's absolutely hot as fuck. Mm-hmm. They do the old hanky-panky on the table. They knock off all the pieces. Their strategy's ruined. Their board game is ruined. It's over.
It's all over. It's over.
It's all ogre now.
God damn it.
Wow. What a throwback.
That's a throwback and a deep cut.
Cersei and Tyrion have a chat, and we find out that it was Joffrey that gave the order to murder Robert's bastards. Cersei is pissed at Tyrion. Did I say Tywin earlier? I may have said Tywin on accident. She's pissed at Tyrion because she thinks that he's the one holding the weight of
No,
ruling
she's
the
the one.
She thinks she's the one holding the weight of ruling the realm. Did you write this as a tongue twister, Scott?
No, you just suck. Do you still have your sunglasses on?
I don't. Without any help, and says it's Tyrion's fault that their mother is dead.
Well done.
Back beyond the wall. You gave me way too much to fucking read here, you dick.
This is all planned, baby.
Back beyond the wall, Jon is keeping watch at night, and he sees Craster taking a baby boy out into the woods. What could he be doing? He follows and hears some really horrible sounds and sees a blue-eyed something, white dragon, take the baby, but Craster gave him the old razzle-dazzle, sneaks up on him, and smacks him right in the kisser, in his pretty face.
Pow! Right in the kisser.
Pow! Right in the kisser. That is what happens in episode 2 of season 2.
Zach, I have to say,
Nightlands.
Just butter smooth. Just butter smooth delivery and reading, just I can't even begin.
Like this.
Maybe having you not read these ahead of time was a mistake. Yeah, this episode, like we kind of alluded to at the beginning,
I don't think we alluded. This episode's not great.
Yeah, there are some things I really like that do happen in this episode. And then there's also a lot where it's just like, oh, cool, it's Littlefinger being a creep again. Whoopsie. Yeah. He's peeping on the jizz swapping. What are you gonna do?
You think that chick that he wiped the cum off her face, you think she still had cum in her mouth when she started making out with that old guy?
Yes, 100%. That's why it's jizz swapping.
That's so gross.
I don't understand. It's so gross.
It's just so gross.
I love how there's like a chain of peeping going on. Like the one dude is watching the other people banging, and then Littlefinger is watching them watch the other. It's like a whole thing. It's a very important sequence. You know what? It's almost too important to even discuss, so we're not going to discuss it anymore.
Yeah, I don't think YouTube wants us to do that.
No, definitely not. Let's talk about the good stuff that happens in this episode.
Okay.
Because there are a few things.
The scene with Yoren and the gold cloak?
The scene with Yoren. Thank you for reading my mind. How can we start anywhere else but where the episode begins? Because, you know what? We didn't get enough Arya in the first episode of season 2.
Agreed.
And so we need to talk about Arya. And also, Yoren, I think this was where I truly started to love Yoren. Like, he had some moments in season 1, like, where he's joking with Tyrion and about bear's balls and all that. But, like, this is the moment where you're like, oh, this dude is cool as shit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just, like, the gold cloak's right up, and he's just so calm, and he just does not give a fuck about what they want, and he's just like, I don't care about your royal warrant. I'm not even gonna open it. I'm too
I sharpened
cool for
me
that.
blade before breakfast.
I sharpened me blade before breakfast. I could shave a spider's ass if I wanted to. He's so cool. I love Yoren. He's so great. He's so great. Did you really put your sunglasses back on, by the way?
I don't know what you're talking about.
How are you gonna read your notes?
Look, I don't have much notes on this episode because there's not a lot there.
I don't think this episode was as bad as you're making it out to be. But
it's just when it's after episode 1 of season 2, it's just a little lackluster.
Okay.
And compared to the rest of season 2, I feel like it's pretty lackluster.
I can give you that. But yes, Yoren is rad. I appreciate that Gendry knows that Arya is a girl.
Yeah.
I appreciate that they didn't make him a total fucking idiot like the rest of them. I also appreciate one of the lines I did take down that I loved was Arya tells Hot Pie, if you got within a mile of a battle, you'd fill your pants. I love the way she phrases that. You'd fill your pants. It's very, very funny. I love Arya a lot. And now Gendry knows who she is and that she's a lady. And
And he's like, all that talk about cocks. I couldn't have. I shouldn't have said that.
I've been
sorry.
pissing in front of you this whole time.
I should be calling you milady.
Yeah. It's a good scene. I love Arya.
It is a good scene.
I like Gendry. Hot Pie is top tier, of course, and Yoren is also great for sure. What did you like in this episode, Zach? Was there anything that you?
Yeah,
you
I mean,
liked?
other than the Arya Yoren stuff, I actually really like Tyrion having dinner with Janos and Bronn being named the commander of the.
This is a great scene.
Yeah, it is really good. And it's funny because Janos, his pompous ass is just like sitting there like, fuck yeah, this is deserved. I'm having a nice dinner with the hand of the king.
I'm a high ass lord.
I'm some
so
hot
cool.
ass shit.
Yep.
And then Tyrion's like, you fucking thought, didn't you?
Dude, just the tidiness with which Tyrion dealt with him is like so beautiful. Like he just wraps that fucker up, puts a bow on him, and ships him off to the wall. And it's just, he's just so cool and calm and collected about it. Like Tyrion just continuing to dominate his time as Hand of the King.
And then he tries talking some shit about Bronn, and Tyrion's like, he's the new Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
Bronn's
Not
like,
the Night's
all right,
Watch,
boys,
the
let's
City
go."
Watch.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, City Watch.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I love... it's rough, but then when Tyrion asks him, like, would you kill a newborn child, like, still at the mother's breast, without question? And Bronn's just like, without question? No. I'd ask how much. And it's like, geez, Bronn, that's pretty dark, but also it's like, that's kind of who he is. He's a sellsword. Yeah. He sells his sword, so he will pretty much do anything for the right price, and it's that's kind of just who Bronn is, for good and for bad. But
man, okay,
scene.
so let's talk about Theon.
God damn, do we have to? Theon sucks so hard. I know I said this in season 1, but this dude fucking sucks.
Yeah. Amanda's gonna be real upset.
How have I never never liked Theon, but how have I never realized like just how much he sucks before? Yeah. He sucks, dude.
Yeah. I think, well, we're trying to stay spoiler free here.
Yeah.
Pre Ramsay Theon is awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
he becomes slightly, I don't even know if that's true. I was about to say he becomes slightly more interesting after that, but I don't even know if that's true.
He undergoes a lot of change, which is interesting. And so that is fun, and there's more merit to that.
There's more development, yes, which has merit, but I don't know how.
Yeah,
good
man.
it
like
is.
My note here is just like, this dude is such a slime ball. I mean, we see his conflict begin when he meets his father again.
Mm-hmm.
And his conflict. Look, I talk about the more emotional things, I think, a little more than you do, but like, it is a real thing. It is a legitimate thing.
Yes.
But for that, I guess I'm trying to preface here, because I know that there will be people that will say things like, well, he's just severely misunderstood.
Sure.
You know, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, dude, even before this internal conflict starts to really take hold of him, he is just still a piece of shit. Like this guy talks down to anybody who's beneath him. And yes, it is because he has a complex, because he hasn't felt as important as he thinks he should be. But that in itself is a problem also, right? I mean, that is one of the reasons why I don't like him.
Right. The correlation I want to draw is like between Tyrion and Theon. Like Tyrion and Theon on the surface level kind of have similar relationships with their fathers.
Right.
Where their fathers are like disappointed in them and like ashamed of them. And that has shaped much of their personality and their being.
Sure.
But while Tyrion has, you know, bettered himself and, you know, does not like, you know, he has sympathy for others. He, you know, isn't just, totally talking down an asshole to everyone he meets. Whereas Theon totally does. It's like, that's the correlation that I think about, because it's like Tywin treats Tyrion in a similar way to Balon treats Theon. And yes, the circumstances are not one-to-one, but
you and I have, I think, okay.
Tyrion has just made a much better person despite all that, regardless, is what I guess
I think I'll respectfully disagree with your comparison. Okay. I agree that obviously Theon is a piece of shit and Tyrion's much better of a person than he is. But I feel like you have to acknowledge that, like, Tyrion has lived a lot longer of a life with constant pressure under his father. Sure. Has learned how to cope with that, right? He's learned how to deal with that and become a better person because of it. And Theon hasn't had that opportunity, right?
I guess, yeah.
But he has been raised with care. He has not been raised as a slave, as a prisoner. He has not been raised in that manner. He's raised with respect. He was treated with respect. Unfortunately, there were people outside of the, quote, family, right, like the Starks, that sometimes kind of shit on him, saying that, you're not one of them, whatever, talking shit to him. And I get that. And yes, that is something that can eat at somebody. But I think at the end of the day, this guy still chooses to take that out on people that are lesser than him. And, like, I mean, even though it's seen as like a jest, like his scene with Roz in episode or in season 1, like he's still just like trying to assert this like dominance and like just this scummy fuck. I mean, attitude,
same with the girl on the ship too.
Yeah, exactly.
In this episode,
try smiling with your lips closed.
Such
like,
an asshole, dude.
Okay,
like,
sure, it is funny. But it's not funny. It's fucked up.
No.
And the fact that it's not said as a joke, it's said as him actually being that person who is like just being like that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you suck, man.
But I guess like my bigger problem is that by all counts, from what we know, Lord Stark treated him extremely well.
Yeah.
Like through his upbringing, he raised him amongst his children. He treated him as a son. He's got like a good, close relationship with to Robb, and with to a lesser extent, Jon. But like, and I see what you're saying about other people kind of outside being like, you're not a true Stark, and like shitting on him for that. But it's like, dude, you had as good a circumstances as you could have asked for to be like, a ward, a prisoner. Being brought up by Lord Stark, and yet you just are continually just such fucking asshole all the time.
Yeah. And
then just the unbelievable awkwardness of just feeling up his sister, and he just brings all these things onto himself. I feel like he is that person who all of his unfortunate circumstances are 100% self-inflicted. And
agreed.
That's just where I'm just like, dude, you bring all these things on yourself. I cannot feel sorry for you for these reasons. Yeah, your dad is shitting all over you and being a dick, but I mean, what did you expect? You're showing up in your jewelry and skirts and everyone's making fun of you. It's
Yara being like, he's like, you're a woman. And she's like, you're the one dressed in fucking skirts.
Skirts, bro. It's pretty good. Nothing he does garners any sympathy from me.
I think I will say even this, just to show, I think truly that like, I have the ability to be objective here. Like, I think it is perfectly understandable. I don't think it's the right decision, but I think it's understandable that Theon folds under this pressure from Balon.
Yeah.
Right? And that he makes the decisions that he comes to make, later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
he's never dealt with that type of pressure, and he does feel ashamed, right? And conflicted. And I think that is legitimate, and I don't think that is the reason to be like, Theon, you're a piece of shit. Like,
no,
that is one of the things that does paint the overall picture, and it's like, yeah, he's not a great guy, but like, even lesser than that, just the way that he treats people.
Yeah.
The guy's a fucking scumbag, dude.
The decisions that he comes to make that we will talk about in upcoming episodes is like, I'm not even taking that into consideration
right.
yet for this. Like, he's just not a good person. And on a show where there are so many likable characters, I suppose you have to have characters like this to balance it out. I don't know if that's accurate or how that works, but boy, did I forget how much I disliked Theon. He is in a rough spot where he is now kind of, Balon hints at, who says anything about the Lannisters, and that's kind of the last thing we get with them here. But he is caught in an awkward position now here. But again, I would just like to come back with all of his biggest problems he has brought upon himself.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's going on in the Iron Islands, and with Theon. Let's quickly talk about. Well, I guess maybe not quickly. There is some stuff that happens on Dragonstone.
Yeah, there's some stuff that happens.
There's some stuff that happens. Salador Sand is trying to fuck Mathos. And Stannis is definitely.
I've never tried to fuck you,
dude. I love Salador Sand so much. Like, we're not fighting this war so you can rape the queen. I did not say I would rape her. I said I was going to fuck her. As if she would let you. He's just, you don't know how persuasive I can be. It's like, it's such a ridiculous exchange, and it's so stupid, but I can't help but laugh at it.
Yeah.
Because he is a charming son of a bitch.
I have a comment to make about
yes, fix your scarf first.
About my guy Stannis banging Melisandre.
Lucky? Is that it?
Yes, for one. But okay. Like, I've got some critiques. I've got some critiques here. Okay.
I can't wait for these critiques. Yes, please. Yes. Tell me about these critiques.
Okay. So this guy, one, he's a fucking washboard. Just like, no roll, no hips. This dude, no form, man. Come on, guy. The second thing, and probably the most important, he lifts her up and puts her on the table. She's way too far back on the table.
Yeah, the leverage.
He's like, the leverage is terrible.
The leverage is
He's got to be on his
off.
Tiptoes.
Yeah.
So he's only getting a little, like the tiniest
just
fucking.
The tip. Just the tip.
Just like the tiniest fucking amount of penetration.
The edge of table to leverage ratio is all out of whack.
Dude, you gotta have them way closer to the edge, or even hanging off the edge,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 100%.
God damn, what a fucking noob, bro.
I love how he, like, pretends to resist for all of, like, 20 seconds and is like, I have a wife, I made a holy vow. And she's like, yeah, but have you seen me? Like, have you seen these glass cutters? I'm pretty fucking hot. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, you're right.
Like, fuck, you're right.
He's like, oh, shit, you're absolutely right.
I'll give you the old fucking 2-inch pump here.
Yeah, 2-inch pump. That's what my nickname in high school. He tries to play it off like it's the whole son thing. Like when she says, I will give you a son. He's like, no, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. For real, guys, it's like,
Definitely
I just want a son. It has nothing to do with anything else. This is just because I want a son. Holy shit, she's so hot. I love Melisandre, and I always have. This is more important than I think any new watchers will realize. This scene here, this isn't just your typical Game of Thrones sex scene bullshit. This will have major ramifications.
Did you say ram?
I did say ramifications. But yeah, Davos, he's trying to do everything he can to wrangle up Stannis' an army, and Stannis is doing all he can to get that 2-inch pump in, but that's
Dude,
about all we got.
It's like, how are you proud of the amount of insertion that is happening right there, dude? Like,
how are you proud?
Like, this dude
He's
is
so proud, dude. He's so into
bent
it.
over on his tippy toes. God,
and
damn.
he ruined their board game. Like, you'll never get those pieces back in the right place. It's all fucked up. It's over.
Yeah.
Let's talk about I guess the North, because I don't think there's much else in this episode. Oh, no, before we get to that, there was one other scene I really liked in this episode, and it's a shorter scene. I kind of had forgotten about it. But it's the quick scene between Cersei and Tyrion. Honestly, kind
when
of.
Tyrion learns that it was Joff?
Yes.
Okay.
These two are kind of great whenever they have scenes together. They're both such like masters of the craft. Like, kind of no matter what they're doing, it's always usually good. And this one just kind of hurts my soul because, like, Tyrion has been on this incredible winning streak, but then Cersei hits him with the, like,
you killed our
it's
mother.
Your fault our mother is dead. And, like, you can tell that hurts him.
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, it's not a very long scene. It's not, like, the most important or the most, like, groundbreaking scene in the show, but it's just a very solid scene where, like, they're just kind of going back and forth, and you can see Cersei kind of chipping through Tyrion's armor. He's got that, he wears that, kind of humor as his armor, and Cersei's just like, the greatest joke you've ever told is, or the greatest joke you've ever had was you killing our mother to be
ripping
born.
our mother open, or
and it's
whatever.
it's cold-blooded. She is cold-blooded, and you can tell that does get through Tyrion's defenses a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's a good scene.
There's almost a sense of, like, he almost feels for Cersei too when he realizes that Joff did that without speaking to her. There's a very, very short kind of just moment of realization where he's like, that wasn't you. Joff gave the order.
He's like, did he even tell you?
Yeah.
Actually, that might have made it worse if he had told you.
Right.
Yeah, all their scenes together are so good. All right, let's talk about the North, Beyond the Wall. We meet Gilly. Sam's...
Gilly is I like Gilly. I
like Gilly too.
There's not enough to like much right this second, but I do come to really like Gilly.
Yeah. And I feel like this is just a solid storyline for Sam. He obviously he saves Gilly from Ghost, and she asks him for help and all this, and it's this scene where between, like, Sam and Jon, after Jon scares her off, is good because I appreciate it how they're both kind of right. Sam is kind of right that they should be trying to, like, protect all the realms of men, but also Jon is pretty much right that there's no way they can take her with them.
Yeah.
Like, they're riding into, like, battle, like, further north. It's not good.
It would be one thing if they were on their way back to the wall.
Right. So it's a tough scene because, like, Jon is, like, trying to talk sense into Sam and being like, no, we can't do this. What are you, crazy? But Sam just has a big heart, and he wants to help this girl. He wants to help everyone. And it's just a cool little moment for Sam, a cool little, kind of storyline for him.
I remember my first time watching, I hated the Gilly stuff.
Really?
Well, I hate might be strong. I just thought it was, it wasn't interesting to me, right? There was too many other things that were going on I wanted to get back to that I was like, why are we fucking spending time? But seeing everything flush out, throughout several seasons. So, I mean, obviously this is a long thing here with Gilly, but
it's a long show, believe it or not.
I really like her, and I like it, and I'm glad it is a part of the show. Is Gilly in the books?
Yeah,
she is, right? Okay,
it's pretty. This is pretty book accurate.
Okay, I couldn't remember. It's been a long time since I've read the books.
Yeah. And then of course we get the final scene where we just pretty much see a White Walker carrying off Craster's baby boy. This is not Gilly's baby boy. That confused me, I think, the first time I watched this.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, she already had the baby already, but that's not. This is just a different baby. Craster's got a lot of daughter wives. And yeah, this is like not okay. Craster's the fucking worst. But just like, what are White Walkers doing with these babies? You know? Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
Yeah,
so big intrigue.
That's a question. That is a question, isn't it?
Yes, it is a question.
Do
you have anything else?
No, I mean that's about it, really. Like there is not truly. I mean, there is not an overwhelming amount of things that I think need to be addressed. There's too much stuff with Littlefinger in this episode. Yeah. It's just not good.
I hate bad investments.
I hate
the way he talks. I'm still just mesmerized by. Just like I started thinking
take the
about
rest of the night off.
Since we talk about it so much, I started to think about his scene in The Dark Knight Rises as well. And just like, I would have to rewatch it to be sure, but just thinking about it in my head, I'm like, yeah, he's pretty much a fucking weirdo in that scene too. Just like playing a completely different character.
Yeah.
Completely different thing. He's doing like these big like motions where he's like, you know, trying to scare them like they're kicking people out the thing. And it's just like, he's such a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
The dude is strange.
He is bizarre.
There was actually one thing. It's extremely quick. We briefly mentioned it in our recap, but
you're real blurry right now, by the way.
Oh, am I really?
Your autofocus is losing its damn mind.
Does it have
There
me?
you go. Yeah, that fixed it.
Dude.
This is Zach's in witness protection right now. We'll have to digitally alter his voice to protect his identity. That's the actual real reason for the whole get up.
That's so funny. Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, dude. But we meet Jack and Hagar in this episode.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we didn't talk much about that.
I mean, there isn't a lot to talk about in this episode specifically, but this is a prominent fucker.
He's just so polite to her. Like,
he is.
Good for him. Like, the other two were total assholes, and he's like apologizing for them. He's like, I'm sorry.
A man does not choose his company.
A man does not choose his companions, you know. I've always liked Jack and Hagar. He's a strange character, but we'll get a lot more of him. Couple quick shout outs of great lines in this episode I have to call out. Most of them are between Tyrion and Lord Janos when Tyrion hits him with the I'm not questioning your honor. I'm denying its very existence.
Yes.
So
dude.
Good. He also hits him with the about Ned Stark. He's like, the man tried to buy me. And Tyrion just so like offended by that. He's like, the fool. He had no idea you were already bought. Tyrion is a champion. It's very, very, very good. that is about all I had.
Yeah, man. That's about it for this episode, I think.
I think we can transition
discussion
to our final segment. Who be thrown it?
See, this is gonna be a tough one too. I gotta be honest.
Yes. But
Tyrion's
I do have some thoughts.
Top.
Why don't we do a quick recap for the listeners? So where we last left off, Tyrion was at number 1, Robb was at number 2, Joff was at number 3, Stannis at 4, and Melisandre at 5. Stannis should honestly shoot up to number 1 because he got to bang Melisandre. So, Tyrion had a phenomenal episode though. So yeah, I do think he stays put. I do have someone I need to find, Zach. So, or do I already have him? Why don't you do your whole song and dance for us while I find this character?
I'm trying to think who it could be.
Really? You don't know? You're about to learn today.
I'm gonna learn today. Yeah, you guys need to learn today. The way that you're gonna learn today is by going to our Twitter or Instagram at We Don't Want a Pod.
Solid transition. I love it.
Or Facebook at We Don't Want a Pod. Hold on, let me go into witness protection.
Yeah, go into witness protection. There you go. Make it real blurry.
Is it blurry?
A little bit, not a lot. Your autofocus was just losing its mind earlier. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, just hold your hand up in front of your face. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, so you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the socials at We Don't Want a Pod. Hey, and actually, I haven't said this on the podcast, but Scotty and I are going to be putting out some short form content, maybe clips of the podcast, maybe some extra little bonus stuff via Instagram Reels and TikTok as well. So you can find us on TikTok also at We Don't Want a Pod. Catch some funny moments from the podcast, maybe some extra cutouts, things like that will make their way there. So go check that out and give us a follow. It does help with the algorithm shenanigans. And if you're not following the pod on whatever listening app you use, Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever you use, click the follow button or subscribe button. That goes a long way. And same thing on YouTube. You hit subscribe, hit the little bell to get notifications when we release an episode. It just makes our buttholes feel warm and fuzzy. Particularly the fuzzy part.
Worst.
I think that's a wrap. Scotty, are you ready? Oh, you got Yoren.
Yeah. I have added Yoren to the screen here. Yoren is a total fucking badass in his scene in this episode.
Yeah, he is.
I think he deserves strong consideration. The other one I was searching for, I will have up on the screen shortly. Is Theon Greyjoy? No, I'm kidding. It's definitely not Theon. But it is actually a relation. It is his father, Balon. Up for consideration, I feel. No?
Nah.
Not feeling it?
Nah.
He pays the iron price.
Nah, I mean, I'd rather have Yara than Balon on there.
Yeah, but Yara doesn't do anything either. Like, Balon at least kind of...
She has a sick diss on Theon.
She does have a pretty sick diss on Theon. That's true. Okay, I'm not going to fight you on Balon. That was just throwing it out there.
Throwing it out there?
Throwing it out there. Joff comes off, yeah?
Yeah, Joff comes off. Yoren goes up. Okay, so Stannis goes up.
Stannis goes up. Robb comes down. Tyrion stays at 1, yeah?
Yeah. Is Robb in this episode?
I don't know. Yes, they talk about... They send the term... We didn't even talk about this scene at all. They send the terms with Alton Lannis. No, was that last episode?
That was last episode.
Is he in this episode?
I don't think he is.
They couldn't fit him in. There was a lot of jizz swapping going on, and they just couldn't fit Robb in. So does he come off entirely? Does Arya make the list?
Ooh, that's a good one.
she's just generally awesome always whenever she's around. She doesn't do anything particularly of note. Where are you, Arya? She owns Hot Pie, which is pretty good. I need an updated season 2 picture for Arya. Does Rob come off?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, let me get rid of Rob. Melisandre and Stannis stay, I think. Is this our 5 then? Tyrion, Arya, Yoren, Stannis, and Melisandre?
Yeah, I think that's solid. I mean, as far as this episode goes.
Janis Slint, he had big wins.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay, so look, let's go ahead and slide Stannis to 3. I like that.
You like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I just put Yoren at number 2.
Okay.
We're gonna slide Stannis to 3.
Let's go Arya to 4 and keep Melisandre at 5.
Okay, I think I can live with that.
Okay.
Melisandre can't go higher because that was obviously not very good form she was getting from Stannis. So
it couldn't have been very pleasurable for her.
Yeah. While he might have been having a good time, she was just kind of like, okay, let's. These pieces are real pointy in my back. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yoren, total badass. I think he deserves that spot. Tyrion continuing to just crush it. Is there anyone we're forgetting?
Nope.
Sam?
Nope.
Sam, maybe?
Sam's an idiot in this episode.
He's an idiot, but he's a noble idiot.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't make sense.
You're right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay. That's going to be our Who Be Thrown for this list then.
Let me make an addendum. We're going to make some correction here on the fly. Am I blurry again?
Boy. Yes.
Hell yeah, witness protection.
Hell yeah, witness protection.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's not, how is that an addendum?
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh. I thought you were done. I thought that was it.
No.
And you're not blurry anymore. You moved around a bunch.
Start reading our list off 5 to 1.
You moved around a bunch and you fixed it.
Oh.
You're the worst. 5 to 1? Okay. 5 is Melisandre. Number 4, Arya. Number 3, Stannis. Number 2, Yoren, my dude. And number 1, Tyrion retains his top spot there.
Retaining
good stuff.
The defending champion.
Oh, maybe I should. You know what I forgot to do? I was planning to do it on the start of the season, but I should bust out some stats for like what have we got so far for who's got the longest.
Yeah, we can do that later. That episode's not up yet. We can do a little something.
Yeah, we won't add it in post though. Are you crazy? Who are you kidding? No. We'll do it soon. Maybe. If I remember.
If you remember.
Yeah. If Zach ever gets out of witness protection and reminds me, maybe we'll do it.
I'm off the grid, baby.
He's off the grid, baby. That's going to do it for this episode. Not a super exciting one. The Nightlands will not get... Why is this episode called The Nightland? What is with these titles this season?
This one is called The Nightlands because...
Oh, the dude, the headless guy.
The head
that
comes out. We didn't even talk about that either.
I mean, it's like the only scene we get of Dany, and it's very quick.
Yeah.
And it's like...
super boring. Yeah, listen, I think we should say this.
Should we?
If this is the first episode that you guys are hearing of this podcast, we are sincerely sorry. There's not a lot that goes on in episode 2.
We really phoned this one
2.
in.
Go back and listen to the others. I promise we're a lot more fun. And
we don't normally talk about jizz so much, or maybe we do.
Actually, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. Remove it.
That's cut it. Cut that. A lie. Remove it. I see what you did there. That's gonna do it.
Yeah. Why don't you take us out, Scotty?
Episode 12, The Nightlands. Hopefully we'll get back on track with the next episode. I believe it is called. I can't remember. So
I think it's called What Is Dead May Never Die.
Yeah, something. I was like, it has something to do with Theon, so I'm sure it's going to be a swell episode. That'll do it. We're going to wrap it up here. Boy, this was a real positive. Listen, hey, I want everyone to acknowledge and appreciate that this is not just a jerk-off fest for how great Game of Thrones is.
Yeah.
When it has subpar episodes, we will call them out, as demonstrated here. This is a subpar episode. Has its moments, but overall, it's a bit of a struggle. So, we are unbiased, except me towards Jamie, and objective here at We Don't Want to. So, there you go. Thank you for joining us. Go check us out on all the places Zach mentioned, social media, YouTubes, hit the bell, subscribe. You know the whole spiel. I won't give it to you. And thank you for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye. Zach, good luck with that murder case, buddy.
Don't say that shit.
I mean, you're in witness protection.